Hey friends, I want to recap what we read in class last time, which was chapters 12 and chapters 13. So in chapter 12, breakfast had just ended, and during that breakfast, that was when they found Thomas Rogers dead with the axe wound to the back of the neck. So they finished breakfast, and Justice Wargrave says, "Hey, I want to get everybody together, and I want to talk about the situation and who the murderer is." Emily Brent, she starts to feel woozy, and she remains at the table. Armstrong offered to give her a sedative, but she said no. Everybody else leaves, and as Emily is sitting there, she hears a bee buzzing outside the window, and then she realizes that there's somebody behind her, and she kind of seems like she's delusional or kind of out of it. And then as she's sitting there, she feels a prick on her neck, which correlates to the line of the poem, six little soldier boys playing with a hive, a bumblebee stung one, and then there were five. As this is happening, and since we know that's related to the poem, we can just assume that she's already dead. In a bit of dramatic irony, everybody else meets up together, and they start to think that Emily Brent is the killer because she has this religious high ground, and she thinks that she's better than everybody else. But then they go into the dining room, and they see that she's dead. However, it was not a bumblebee that stung her. They notice in her neck that there is an injection site from a hypodermic needle. Armstrong says that he had a needle in his medical bag, but that it's gone missing. Suspicious. And they all decide that she has died now from an injection to her neck of cyanide poisoning. Wargrave then wants to look around the house for some potential weapons, and they want to go find Lombard's gun. Lombard is like, okay, fine, look for it. But then they discover that the revolver is missing. They kind of gather up everything in the house that could be used as a weapon, and they lock it away, and that's it. Chapter 13 then. In chapter 13, they realize that there isn't any power in the house, and that's because Rogers has died, and he was the one who was always starting the generator and everything. So they decide that they're going to just get candles, and they'll survive using candles. So no big deal that they don't have power. Vera then says that she wants a cup of tea, and she's like, no big deal. You all stay here. I'll go by myself. And everybody decides, no, nobody's going anywhere alone anymore. We're going with you. Also, don't drink maybe anything since, somebody's already died from being poisoned by their drink. So they all stay together. Later, Vera goes up to take a shower, and she walks into her room, and she instantly gets this feeling of dread. And she starts thinking about the seashore and that kid that she watched drowned. She smells the sea, there's wind, and it blows out her candle. And then suddenly she feels a wet, clammy hand touch her throat, and she screams and screams and screams. Everybody rushes in, and they find out that, oh, hey, it was just a piece of seaweed. Somebody was trying to scare her. Lombard thinks that it was meant to frighten her to death. And they suddenly look around. What? Where's Wargrave? He was right behind me, but he's an old man, so he's probably just going slower. They hurry downstairs. They find him sitting in a chair, and he is dressed. He has the red curtain that went missing a couple of chapters ago. He's wearing a red curtain that makes it look like he's wearing like a judge's outfit, and he has Emily Brent's lost yarn on his head to make it look like a wig. So he's dressed up like a judge. Now, remember, the line in the poem is, 5 little soldier boys got going in for law. 1 got into Chancery, and then there were 4. Chancery is a really good law school. So the fact that he's dressed like a judge, and he is a judge, law school, and it all fits. Not only is he dressed up like a judge, homeboy's dead, and he's been shot in the middle of the head. But, where's the revolver? We don't know. So, that's about it. Wargrave's dead. And I think he was everybody's number one suspicion. So who is the murderer? For this chapter, you will want to know what a red herring is, because our next line is 4 little soldier boys going out to sea. A red herring swallowed one, and then there were 3. If you haven't already seen my Instagram, a red herring is something that is used by authors to try and distract you from who the killer really is. So look out for red herrings, and that should be about it. Okay, good luck. Enjoy these next two chapters. We're almost done with the book. Yay!